Hello, hello, guys. Welcome back. This is part two of my interview with Natalie from Natural Grind.
One of the questions I had also was, and now I forgot my question, is you guys in the shared space, are you on one POS system or do you have each have your own POS systems?
Yeah. Well, we said let's just try it for fourth quarter. And so we didn't want to get too messy. So we have two POS systems. So if somebody buys a baby outfit and an adult outfit, they have to ring up twice.
Um,
So
many people have much pushback on that?
nope, everybody's been great. And that's what we thought. Well, if there's pushback, maybe we'll go to Square because we're both with Square. That's the other thing I want to talk to you about. We're both with Square, um, which it has its challenges, I think, in the retail world. I don't know, I've not worked with many others, but um, and so there was just no way that we could figure out on our own anyway to merge that inventory and then separate the revenue in the back end. So we're like, let's just keep it separate, not knowing how this was going to go. And I'm glad we did because I'm not sure. I committed to being there through June of 2026 and seeing how that goes. And then, we'll play it by ear for next fall, winter, what I want to do. But I just need to make sure that that separate brick and mortar is feasible long term before I
Yeah.
commit much.
I mean, I think when it comes to your POS system, I love that people don't have pushback about being rung up twice. And I think that opens a lot of doors for a lot of people that want to possibly open a store. And it's like, look, you can do it. Because I mean, there is a way to do the POS where everything's run under the same, because there are a lot of co-ops that, run under one POS system, and they each ring it up. Whoever's ringing it up, it goes to each different vendor. I don't know how that works because I'm not the biggest POS person. But I do know there are systems out there that can do that. But it is, I think, for those who are thinking about possibly opening a store, it's like, what a great idea, like having two different owners that, both. Do you ever butt heads in the sense of like, well, I wanted to put my stuff in this area and no, I wanted this, or
She's really great. She is really great to work with. However, I mean, I think both of us, I mean, when you are your own person, I worry if I ever need to go back into the corporate world or go back into a real, if one quote unquote real job someday, like, can I really take direction from somebody else? But I mean, like, you are so used to doing your own thing, no board meetings, no performas, no, like, I don't have to have like a board meeting to change my vendor for something, I can just do whatever I want. And so running everything by somebody else, like, hey, I think we need to, maybe look at adjusting our hours here, or we run sales and we've been working together and trying to run the same sales so it's not confusing for our staff, like 20% off all Christmas or 30% off sweaters, or, like
yeah.
we do different things. So that's a little bit different. And there has been some challenges. Not that we have had any big falling out or anything like that. We've been able to work through those and talk through them, but staffing is one of them.
Oh, I bet.
So, her staff, on the home decor side, um, has been great. I mean, they have a good eye for home decor and so forth, which is great. And then Lisa and I are really, my staff is very customer service focused and hands-on. Not that they are in a different way, but they quickly even realized, wow, when people come in and shop for women's clothes, they really want a lot of hand holding and help. And you have to put this in when they come in and get a baby gift, or, it's just like, oh yeah, here's the 18 to 24 months section, and you just they kind of pick it out. So we both realize that the staff we have to have over there has to be um, a little bit more really customer
Yeah.
service focused. So we're really looking at that for 2026, what that looks like, who's over there. And we've been able to have a really candid conversation about that. Like this person probably isn't the person to have over there. And quite honestly, a lot of my younger baristas, if they have to fill in over there, it's not ideal. I mean, my own daughter will say, like, Mom, I don't know how to sell women's clothing. Like I don't feel comfortable. I don't know how to dress a 50-year-old woman. Like I don't want to do that over there. And so it's interesting. They kind of weed themselves out.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's nice to know in a pinch you can utilize this staff member from the other place, but it's probably also, without having the lack of knowledge of the product, like, is this going to shrink? I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I can tell you
exactly.
what goes in
Yeah.
macchiato.
Yeah.
I can't tell you
Does
that's
this look good on me? Yeah, and their style, is completely different than, because, my demographic for my boutique is probably 35 to, main demographic 65. Let's just say 60, depending on the woman, 65, I'd say 70 maybe. Hey, I have some 80, 90-year-olds that I'm goals here. I want to look just like them. But for the most part, I would say, 35 year to, but that's the other thing with apparel right now. Like I went out the other night and I had a, nice sweater on and I looked around, I'm like, everybody's in sweatshirts with hoodies. Then the next day I go to Trader Joe's with was it a Marine Layer or Faraday sweater? It was a Faraday sweater, I believe. And it was a cardigan. And I'm walking down the aisle. Three people stop me and say, I just love your sweater. Oh, you look so nice, or whatever. I'm like, thinking it's a sweater and jeans. Like, what, like, but this, our society has gotten so casual, at least in Iowa. I don't know about where you're at. It's
Uh,
just like,
I'm in Oregon. I laugh because when we moved here, I mean, anyone who knows me and who works with me knows my uniform is leggings and a t-shirt or whatever, because I'm on ladders and you're stepping, like,
yeah,
I have to dress like this for work. When I got here, when we moved here, like we put our stuff in storage when we first moved out of California because we were going to Vegas for the show setup. And I just said, put it all in storage, everything. I had enough clothes for like, 2 months or whatever, living on a work site. I didn't need to bring anything nice. We finally get here. We spend 3 months trying to find a house. We find a house. Dave brings our truck up and I'm unloading my clothes into my closet. And I'm looking like, there's absolutely nowhere I can wear any of these things. Like a full length rainbow sweater from I forget the brand, the Brazilian brand, and like houndstooth jackets with a rhinestone skull on the back. Like, where am I? Where there? It is where I am is very rural, and I'm up by farms and vineyards, which is beautiful. But we don't really go out here, and there's not like big shopping districts. There's really cute little tiny downtowns, but it's not like where you go with your girlfriends, like, hey, let's go to South Coast Plaza and we'll go have lunch and then we'll go walk around. And it's like a whole thing that doesn't exist here. So like when I think about what I wear now compared to even what I wore in California, I'm like, I never get dressed anymore. Literally, now my wardrobe is literally what I wear for work every day. And I want to get dressed. And I guess I could. I mean, I see a ton of people, like there's a lot of women who do a great job of no matter where they're going, they're always just dressed to the nine and makeup. And I just don't know if that's me or I'll ever be that. But I think as a society, it has, I mean, just look at what's trending in apparel. Like Skims is doing like doing collabs with Nike and doing collabs. Like everything is athleisure. And I thought athleisure was huge about 10 years ago. Now it's like a hoodie, a giant hoodie sweatshirt, and a giant pair of sweats on the tiniest girl. And she's all fashionista and she's got a beautiful face of makeup and she's got a $3,000 bag on her arm. But what she's wearing it is very different. And I have to appreciate it, but I don't always understand it anymore, especially, now that I'm buying apparel again. So I am tending to stick with things that I know, again, are easy purchases that are at a price point where it's like a no-brainer. And I don't do any kind of cut and sews. I don't do anything that would require a fitting room because to me, it's like you're just throwing it on. You're standing in the middle of the restaurant. Like you don't, there's not
yeah.
going to be a fitting room. It's like, does the sweatshirt fit? Yeah, this is perfect. I'll take it. but it has, as a society, apparel and what you wear is very casual now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I could tell you like my sweatshirts, like told you like I have a wall and a table display of sweatshirts that I just ordered $1,500 worth of more sweatshirts this weekend. I'm like, well, I mean it sells. And and then, extended sizes, like I needed, in the boutique, that was another thing, like on top of just trying to get the right product in and people coming in saying, say a lot of things. I don't go anywhere to dress up anymore. I don't need a dress. I don't wear dresses anymore. I work from home. I literally work in my sweats. I don't, they don't need as
No,
much. So I am like, wow, this, and then on top of that, like layer that with people when they do need something, they just go to like for like seriously Amazon to get it or wherever they order it online. And so it's a bit more of a challenging environment. Now, that said, I do think that women are looking for an experience with their friends, or even, they have some outfits they need and so forth. So there is still some need to have brick and mortar and for people to try on. And I was in Von Mauer. Are you familiar with Von Mauer?
no.
Okay, it's a Midwest department store. It's very popular in the Midwest. It was based out of Iowa and it's higher end. It's very, very nice. Great customer service. I worked there in college. That's where I learned
So you have
my
worked in
I
retail.
did.
Oh,
Yes, I worked there in college and I was trained in like customer service and all that there. But I worked at the makeup counter though, but it was fine. So anyway, I was asking the people working there, I'm like, hey, how's your sales been? And they said, great this season. So there's still people out there shopping. But I find that the women who come in shopping in groups now, they're doing it for the experience of having fun with their friends and maybe looking for that drink they're going to have at lunch or dinner with their friends and where they're going to eat. And they're not walking out with bags and bags of stuff. They might come back by themselves when their friends might not know how much they're spending. They might come back by themselves and
yeah, it's
shop.
interesting. That's an interesting thought because I mean, when we were just in Atlanta, because I will go shopping now where there's no shopping for me, like different brands that I can't find here, and it's true. Like I'm there and it's like, oh, what I really want to buy, I kind of like, oh, I'll just wait and probably come back or whatnot. But it's an interesting observation. But I
Yeah.
think that for sure retail, I mean, Amazon people are going to order on, but I can't tell you how many purchases I've made on Amazon just out of desperation for something that it always goes back because the fabric is horrible, the size is horrible. I mean, that was one of the questions I had earlier was with you purchasing apparel on Fair when we were in the pandemic. There's another platform for all apparel that's mostly cash and carry, and I can't remember the name of it to save my life, but it's the majority of the cash and carry brands that are downtown LA. So when the pandemic hit, that was literally the only place I could buy. And the pharmacies, because they were open, like we were doing such insane business because we were open and no one had anywhere else to buy. And we had massive gift sections and massive apparel sections. So I was constantly on shop. Is it shop? Oh, I forget. But I was constantly on this platform,
Shopify or Fashion Go,
Fashion Go,
wherever. Yeah.
constantly on Fashion Go. And I want to go to the pharmacy and they're like, no, 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 just wait. It's still like everyone here has gotten COVID 3 times, or it's like, just don't come in. You're much safer. So when I finally did get in and I finally saw most of the apparel that I bought, oh my God, like, you know, some stuff sold, but by far and large, we had so much bad inventory because it was too small or it was scratchy or the color was off. And it's like, I don't know how people buy. I think I can buy apparel on Fair, brands I know, but I think
Hmm.
if somebody going out, like just out of the blue, I'm going to go on to Fair and buy a bunch of stuff. It is it is dicey. And yes, they will take it back. Fashion Go is harder to return than Fair. Fair is very easy, but it is dicey. And it's like, did I know that was a crop shirt? Did it look that short in the picture?
Yeah.
No, like
Oh, I just ordered a vest, a suede vest that's actually a romper with shorts in it. And I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, you do. That is, but Fair is actually carrying some higher end, like
Yeah, I just was
Able
looking at
leather.
Spiritual
Like,
Gangster. Like,
yeah.
do
And
you buy
so
Spiritual Gangster?
by what?
Spiritual Gangster.
No,
Got it.
I'll have to look at that.
It started out as a yoga brand, and it sits along with like any athleisure brand, but it's really their graphics are really good, their sweaters are really good, but it's all based around like, metaphysical and like, hamster hands, and it's a great line. It is very expensive, but it's a great line. It was of course shopping it for me, but but I think as long as you know the brand, it's a lot easier because you know how it fits, and they tend to be, stay on that line. But by far and large, it's challenging buying apparel online. Like I wondered how, like I said, that was a question I had when we were talking earlier. I was like,
Oh, there's some things I get in and I absolutely love, and then there's some things I'm like, oh my Lord, that did not, yeah, I didn't know it was cropped. It didn't say it was cropped, whatever. Yeah. And I can't wait for the cropped trend to go because not very many people want to show their belly. It's like, let's just
no,
get
it's the
rid of that.
same girls that are like this big, the size of a pencil, that can wear a giant oversized crop shirt because they're tiny. And but
Yeah.
it's, that this is like the third wave of crop stuff going by. I mean, guaranteed fluorescent stuff is coming right behind it again because it's right about time for it to show up again. I know we're getting into the thing. We had talked earlier. I had said that one of the things that I wanted to start doing with the podcast is like when you're on with me, if you have any questions, this is the time to do it. It's like free advice. And I know you said you had some questions, and I figured this is a good way to kick off this part of the segment of like ask me any question you want.
Yeah, no, I think my main thing is, I heard you talk about how you incorporated merchandising in with a restaurant. I'm not sure if it was a Cracker Barrel, or in my mind, I was thinking it was like a Cracker
Kind of
Barrel-ish.
like that.
Yeah. And in the pharmacies, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is so similar to what I do. She's like, this is really a good podcast for me to listen to. And I was like, I wonder what she would have to say about me like branching out to this other brick and mortar and me just I think I am struggling with traffic flow over there and the fact that things are going a little bit more online, and do I need to focus, do I need to change my platform, my POS platform to Shopify so I can enhance my online sales, and how do I, besides, like, I feel like, and I've been seeing this on Instagram, like a lot of stores getting putting out the comments that they hear from customers every day, like, hey, will you offer, 2 weeks ago you had this 30% off all sweaters and I wasn't able to make it in. Will you honor the 30% off sale? Tomorrow, I'm not going to make it for your sale tomorrow. Can you honor that? Or can you let me know? And I feel like I'm only selling when I'm discounting anymore. And I feel like I'm bartering. Become a bartering atmosphere. Number one, it's like a garage, it's like, man, I've never, and honestly, some of my own best friends, some of the ones that do it the most, but that's fine. But I mean, even just people from the community or whatever, like, are you going to have this on sale again? When will this, or hey, I saw you had it on sale last week or this today, and I bought it last week. Will you price adjust? And that is one of the things I struggle with the most. So I have been following your 2.5 markup advice. I think you
Okay.
said it on one of your
Yep.
podcasts, like you have to, but it just feels icky to me. Like I just, I want to get away from like people buying just because I'm having a sale.
It
And
is,
then,
it
yeah,
is, it is, it is hard. It's like anthropology. Everyone knows what day the markdowns happen, and there's a customer just for that, like for sale. And that is the nature of the beast. But what I will say, because that bartering thing, as soon as you open that door, it's very hard to close. And what I would say is like I've with like Jellycat, I'm training the girls at Lucy's is like, when we're talking about on social media and when customers are in the store and they're like, this is so cute, I want to buy it now. is starting to really put in their head the scarcity mindset. And I hate to say that, but with Jellycat, you can only order maybe some styles 2 packs. So it really is a scarcity item. And I would say with your sales, that when it's a sale and the sale's coming up, you know, you could tell them if they're looking to buy it at regular price, if you want to wait, it's going to be on sale in a week. If it's like not an out of town customer, not to say that gearing sales towards non-customer, like your local customers versus your tourist customers, but if that's a nice thing you could do that will save you from bartering down the line. But I would say really put it out there to people that this sales during this timeline and drive it home in your social media. Because I didn't look over your social media, so I wasn't sure like how active you are on it. But getting traffic, going to the traffic question, getting traffic, the number one thing is going live. And it's like if you follow Gary Vee and you follow that, like the live sales are huge. And if you have even if you only have a couple hundred followers, it's still getting out there, getting in front of the camera, getting your product out. Like this is a brand new, like we just received, all these sweaters this week, or jackets are coming in this week, or the sale is going on, or like whatever it is, you being the face of the brand, one, people want to know you and they want to hear, they trust you because they see you in the restaurant and they see you there. Like super important. It's coming from you. Or I've hiccups, the lady that is working for you that probably knows a lot of the people in the community, and if she's comfortable online. But the more you're out there and on camera going live and doing stories and talking about the product, the more it's going to push traffic into your store. And saying that we only have 6, this is all we're getting, we're not getting any more. So if you love it, I'm telling you now, come in and get it, because it's not going to be here. And with sales, same thing. It's like you can't keep going back and retrofitting prices, because again, like once you open that door, word gets around very fast. Just like if you're easy to shoplift from, word gets around very fast at the local high schools about how easy it is to shoplift. And suddenly that's all you have is kids coming in knowing that it's easy to, it just gets around. So if you can try to stop like price adjusting. I understand if someone bought something at a regular price yesterday and it went on sale today, like, yeah, I can understand that. But, it's a hard one. And the only people I think that do price adjustments, I don't even know if Nordstrom's does it anymore. I think REI does it, but it's in this day and age, it's not the norm. And honestly, like the customers that are asking that must not, I don't know if they're your regular customers, but you're a small business and you need every dollar you can get, and the support of people. And if somebody's going to, barter you down and it becoming a normal thing, that isn't fair to you. And it's like, is that really your customer base?
That you said some really key things. So one thing I started when I started clothes is I was trying to get rid of my sales rack. And so I would take one thing that I just wanted not to see anymore. I couldn't stand to look at it. And I would mark it to $25. And I would do what was called $25 Tuesday.
I love that.
And it got huge. Sorry, I never get phone calls. And then today I'm getting, it got huge. I started to traction. And so $25 Tuesday did every Tuesday, couple thousand views, or 1,000 maybe. And then when I moved to the collective, Lisa and I talked about it and we went, is this cheapening our brand? Because we are a high level boutique here. And I don't know if $25 Tuesday really does that. The boutique that I am sharing with 319 Decor and Design is actually called The Collective. So we created a new Facebook page and I started to do my lives on that, but the traction wasn't there because I already had 5,000 followers on Natural Grind. So I'm like, okay, I'm still doing my lives from my Natural Grind page because my followers are there and that's where they're used to seeing me. And I was in Des Moines, Iowa, the capital, and I was eating lunch at a restaurant one day and a lady came over to me. She said, "Are you from Grundy Center?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I watch your lives." And almost every day somebody says to me, "I watch your lives. I love your lives." And so I do get a lot of views. I do get some sales, typically $100, $200 of sales. I tried to do like comments sold. That didn't work. And I think it's because I'm in a smaller community and people don't want other people to know what they're buying.
Mm.
So I just went, hey, DM me, or here's my shopping link for my online store. Just go in there and, shop. But I don't think Squares does that really well. I'm probably not really great at putting things online. I don't know. But anyway, so online every Tuesday, I do it. Last Tuesday, I'm gonna be honest, it was the first Tuesday in a long time I was in a funk and
Oh,
I could not get in front of a camera. I
oh,
just could not do it. And I never do it. I usually force myself to, and I didn't. And then I did Wednesday morning and went great. And I had made great sales. So sometimes your energy conveys over.
100% energy
Yeah.
creates energy.
Yeah. So I'm like, I can't have bad energy today. I'm in a bad energy space. I'm just gonna just table this. So anyway, so that has been really good. I wrote down some things here. So I've gotten a lot of support and I do feel like lives, like you said, are really, really good. But converting them to sales has like, oh wow, that live today got 6,000 views. That's crazy. I didn't get one sale from it. And then another time I will
You might
have
not
one
see
that
it
gets
instantly.
1,200 views, but then I get 3 sales,
You might not see it instantly, but it's the consistency that matters. Is it always showing?
Yeah.
And you're gonna have days you're gonna be off for sure. I mean, like that. It's consistency, like where you see somebody going live, and then all of a sudden it's like a month, and it's like, what happened to them? Like, are they still?
Yeah.
And you go back on their Instagram, and it's like, well, they're still there, but what happened to
The algorithm.
it's
Yeah.
consistency. And as far as getting stuff online, absolutely, because you're in an area, especially if you just said it was almost -20, it's like you're in an area that people don't leave their houses sometimes. And to be able to consistently still go on live and talk about, even if you do, this is this week's receipts, and you show everything. Kingfisher Road, when the girls had their brick and mortar, they've now closed their brick and mortar and they're in a warehouse, which is a whole new way of doing business, which I love. They're in a warehouse. It's not like you can go to their warehouse and see, but they are on live. They are every single day. But when they had their stores, they were consistently showing their new receipts. They were always like, this is, plain white t-shirt. This is all what we got in. This is all of the, Zell, like whatever the brand was, they were on it because they know that the brands that people are waiting for, people know they're waiting for. And if you're doing live and you're talking about your new receipts, the first thing people are going to want to do is go online and see. I mean, I do that with stores that I follow, and it's like, I forget who I was watching the other day, and I'm like, I really want that. I think it was Barbara from Daisy's, and that she had something online on her gift guide, and I went to go find it online, and it wasn't there. But it's, if you can, you should have most of your inventory, and just because what will happen is backing it up with what you're showing online. If it's -20, people probably aren't going out of their houses, but you could still buy this super cute thing.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
think it's there. It's just, and I have it categorized. It's just sometimes harder for people to find. I have to find it for them. Um, I honestly think that Shopify does a much better job with online performance than Square.
yeah.
But, you know, someday I'll explore that, but that would, how changing POS systems is never easy. So it's just like, oh
Well, I
goodness.
think Lucy's has two POS systems that we run. One is Yellow Dog and one is Toast. And I believe
Oh yeah.
I think Toast is the
Toast is a restaurant.
so
Hmm.
we use both because Toast can create recipes even when it comes to gift baskets. So we can say the
Oh,
recipe gift basket is the basket, the ball of wine, the crackers, something else, and it gives it
yeah.
one SKU. So they're not scanning all three separate things.
Okay.
It shows up differently in a report. But you could use both POS systems. I mean, you could, start your online presence with just your Shopify and a small, pocket of merchandise that you're going to show, and then see how it goes. But it's POSs are tricky.
One last thing is extended sizes and
Oh,
But
yes.
yeah, and so like, hey, I need petite, hey, I need plus, and I just don't have the space either, down the street at the boutique anywhere. So one thing I just did is, I don't know if you're familiar, maybe you've heard of Cabby. Have you heard of Cabby? So Cabby is Carol Anderson by invitation. It's been around for 24 years. I sold it back in 2010. It's a very nice line of clothes that offers a great selection of workwear to casual wear. It's about 100 pieces of clothes a season, and then they supplement it every 6 to 8 weeks with other pieces. But it's very curated, and it all kind of mixes and matches.
Love that.
Yeah, so I've got like, let's see, but I've got a rack of clothes up here that's heavy. I'm not allowed to put it in the boutique, which I'm fine with because I do think it deserves a place on its own. But it offers me an opportunity to, if somebody comes in and they need a 16 or 18, I can say, no, I don't have that in the store, but I can get it from this vendor and I can just shoot you over the link and I have a sample here. The only thing is they can't try on their exact size, but returns are really easy. And I do have sample sizes that I can have them do. So I just started that a couple months ago. I've sold about $5,000 in clothes so far, just from a
Do
few
they
like
drop ship?
they drop ship.
Which is
Yep, they just drop ship and they drop ship it to me or to them and I get it to them. And so it's kind of like a network marketing thing, which I said I'd never do. But in order to really offer what I wanted to offer without investing in the inventory that I was afraid would sit in my back room or wherever, I just am doing that on the side. And so that's been fun so far. It's a little bit more work. But at the end of the day. And then you were asking how I'm learning all this stuff, like as far as styles and trends and whatever. I'm going to their fashion week in January instead of Dallas this year. And what I'm going to do is learn from their fashion designers on what's trending and what's going and, sales techniques and so forth. So I'll keep you
Oh,
posted I'll see if
yeah.
what I learned from that.
They
But
spell
it's
CABBY.
CABI.
CABBY.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's they just really have a really good versatile and it's more for your women probably 35 to 70, 65, 35 to 65 in that age range. There's nothing cropped and there it's very classy wear, but I'd say for a shirt you're going to spend about $94 for pants, maybe 130 to 140 pair dollars. Sweaters probably 150. So t-shirts, simple shirts maybe 60, 50. So
Interesting.
it's not super expensive. It's not on the low end, but it's very high quality. They line everything. And then I can do these fun little trunk shows and show people how to create capsule wardrobes and put it all together. So very, very fun. And so if you kind of want to see a sneak peek of that, I did kind of a bad live, but I tried a live from my apartment the other night, just kind of showing a few curated pieces from that collection, which I'll do again this week. But I have my personal page, Natalie and Eildert's Kracht. And then I also have Natural Grind. And then now I have the collective. So I have 3 different pages. So I'm trying to decide where I get the most traction. And I think it's all from Natural Grind. So I'll probably stick with that.
Are you going to merge the Cabby site in with your, do you have to keep it separate?
I can't put the I can't like sell the clothes in my boutique, but they've been very good now. They used to be very strict. Like if you
Why
own a
can't you,
boutique,
if you don't mind me asking, why aren't you allowed to sell it in boutique? Is it like Avon where it's like,
I honestly think, and she has a good reason for it. Her stuff is so special, the way I look at it, that once you start opening that door, it loses its specialness. And so it is that network marketing type, which I never said I would do, but I believe in this brand so much. I don't care. I'm only getting 30%. I'm not getting the full 100% markup. I'm just making 30% on everything I sell, but I don't have any inventory behind me. Um, so
so it's
it's
kind of like an Avon, like where
yeah,
you can
yeah.
test everything, sample it, you have a party, everyone tries everything
Yeah.
on, and you put
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. That's
Yeah, it is, but it's high, it's something I'm proud of. You know, I'm really, really proud of this brand, and I wear it, and people will say to me all the day, so I wear mostly cabbie every day because, and I'll wear my pieces from the store too, but I always make sure I'm wearing something that I can sell right on the spot because once I sell out of the sweater that I'm wearing today, and I can find them something similar, but I want to make a sale. So that's nice. I know I'm always going to have that inventory for the most part, but um yeah, it's just a different way. I'm just seeing if this works again for me. I've had pieces that I sold pieces, and it was so funny because people said, "Oh, you're selling cabbie again? I bought pieces 15 years ago from you. I still have it in my closet because they're classic and they're timeless, and they're just great pieces of clothes. And they give back and to women in need, and they have a good story behind them too. So I love that as well.
up. I think a lot of people are going to have questions about this.
Yeah, I'd love to send him my link and talk to him about it. But
Yeah, what if you want send Danielle, because you have her email, send Danielle whatever
okay.
link you want us to show
Yeah,
also. I don't know if that was in your intake form, but
yeah.
for sure, because I know people are going to be asking me about this, and this will be great to be able to give them because this is something new to me, but it makes sense. I mean, and I love the fact that it's a drop ship and you don't have to, it's just a shame that you can't merge it in with your store. I think so many people would try and do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the nice thing is, like the other day, somebody came in and said, I'm looking for a barrel jean in a size 24. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sold out. And I had one pair that was kind of good, but it was very barrel-y and big. And I go, but I have this other brand. I happen to have it on that day. These are the Coopers. They're not super barely. They've got a little distressing. Do you like them? And she said, oh my gosh, I love them. And so I sent her my link. She tried on the pair I had on. We determined the size, and I was able to drop ship that a pair of jeans to her, and it worked out beautiful. So, I think even you say you live and die by your inventory, and I don't. My inventory is already getting out of control. And so I figured this is a way for me to offer extended sizes, different things, help curate collections, still have an in-store shopping experience, but just say, hey, you're looking for work attire, you're looking for a New Year's Eve outfit. This is a great outfit. I can have it drop shipped to you, show them it, they can look, they can feel it, they can try on the sizes that I have. We can determine what they need and drop ship. So it's
You
I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to mix it, but it's working.
you're a true hustler, I gotta say. I love that you
People go, how
understand.
do you have time? How do you
Yeah.
like what? But you know what? I told you at the beginning, like, this is what I do. Like, when I have some icky stuff in my, it's probably, I don't know, some therapist is going to reach out to me, but when I have icky stuff in the past that I don't really want to think about all day, I need a project. And when I've mastered something, this is all part of our human design too. When I've mastered it and figured out the coffee shop, I'm ready for the next.
Mm.
I got the boutique going. I can't say I've mastered the boutique. I've done it. I figured out how to get clothes. I've curated. Now, how can I expand on that? What else can I offer? How can I, like, I'm ready for the next. Now, I have to be careful because I don't want to get in over my head, but I'm already like thinking like I want to be a I want to work for a wholesaler.
Oh my God.
I want to go to the markets, but yeah, but anyway, so I know it's kind of bad, but it's good. It's just how I'm wired. And I think you're wired kind of that way too. You're probably always looking for your
I've
next
learned, I
opportunity.
mean, I'm 60 in 2 weeks. I've learned to dial back how many, because I think I get the best of both worlds with working with retailers and wholesale gift. And I'm not working for one showroom with wholesale gift. We have Stonewall now. I'm starting to work with DM merchandising next summer. It's like I have my hands in so many different things that I feel like I get that ADD part of me out.
Satisfied.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
my hands in on without oh, I'm going to do this. Although, I mean, as I say that, I'm still like, well, maybe I do open it. There's a possibility I'm opening a store again.
See?
But I know in the back of my head, I know there's things I know and I remember from having my stores. And it's
Yeah.
like I really need to figure that part of the puzzle out because I'm not giving up that part of it. Like I can host a podcast in it. I can do filming in a store, like all my how-to videos. I can do that, which is great. It's the I'm getting up and I have to leave for a month is a challenge. And I know, whoever you leave in the store has to be, as we know, employees are the toughest. And it's like you have to be able to trust them with everything. It's like, hi, I'm not gonna be back for a month. You're on your own. Bye. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I have some things to think about, but yes, I will admit that I'm definitely like intrigued about opening a store again, which I can't even believe I'm saying out loud on this podcast.
No, I think it's just because that's the nature. I think it's the nature of really everyone. We evolve. We're created to evolve as people. So as we learn something and master something, and then we're like, okay, how can I enhance this? How can I make it better? What more can I do? I tend to get just a little bit bored and I'm like, okay, next, check mark next. But I don't want to leave it. I'm going to keep it, but I want to expand on what I'm doing and learn more. Um, and make sure what I'm doing, I'm just loving and I'm passionate about.
Yeah,
And we're
that's
fortunate. You're
key.
fortunate. I'm fortunate. We're not working, in a cubicle or I mean, nothing. I mean, there's
I know
people designed to do that, but
yeah.
I'm just not. Yeah.
Lucky that we get to go out and do what I mean, it's truly like you love what you do. And that's one thing I've learned with the human design thing is that if you follow your joy and it's what I do, whatever client it is, if it gives me joy, then I could keep going for literally 14, 15 hours a day. It's when it is not a joy and it's a micromanaged situation or a pain in the ass or whatever. It's like where it does not bring me joy that I've learned at this age to say, I don't think I'm going to do that because it's not, and that's something I will say that I'm grateful that I can recognize now. I think anybody that does what they do, what they love, I think it's like, pay attention to those little signals and that little voice in the back of your head like I don't know, there's something that doesn't feel right with that.
I know I'm going to say yes, and then I'm going to regret it when the day comes and I have to
Yeah.
do this. Something that I heard the other day that somebody said to somebody was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I've got a decline right now. My plate is as full as I want it to be,"
That's good.
and didn't offer any excuses and didn't say, "My plate is just so full. I have no more time." They said, "It is as full as I want it to be," and I'm like, you know what?
I like
I
that.
need to be a little bit better. My assistant, Lisa, does, she jokes about, I don't have a vacation scheduled next month. I need to have a vacation scheduled next month. She's not apologetic about it. She's not, I was in my loungewear for 5 days in a row. I mean, like, I feel like I'm always apologetic when I take a day off or feel like I can't admit when I take a day off. And
It's a
I have
bad,
to
I think that's a
justify
feeling.
every no,
Yeah. That's, and like I said to somebody, the gift of when I turned 50, the gift of understanding and knowing inherently my value and being able to say no to things because before I think we as women are such people pleasers that you'll you'll say yes just because you don't want to let someone down. I know that for sure was me. Like I would commit to things and it's like I think about it now and it's like I just wish I learned and figured out my voice before that. But what a beautiful lesson to learn at 50. It's like, and now I really know my value. I know what I bring to the table. I know if I say no to something, it's like not because of any other reason. It doesn't work. And I don't feel bad. And it just didn't work out and that's fine. And they'll find somebody else. But I think that's that understanding that and knowing your value and being able to stand in your own and say, doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I know it is different. I mean, as I get closer to 60 myself, and then even thinking about, am I now, like a widow, like am I gonna be able to retire? Do I want to retire? Well, can I idle? I don't know if I can. What does my future look like? I find myself saying yes to more things than I probably should just because of the my fear of like not having enough in my future. And so yeah, it's something I need to let go of, right? But
It's something we
it's hard.
all, I think, learn. I have to ask you because we're
Yeah.
heading to the end of this. Is it because I used to ask this question all the time and I kind of forgot? And you were the perfect one to ask because you are always going. Is what does relaxing look like for you, and how do you spend time to calm yourself down? Does that even exist?
It's a really good question because Lisa tells me all the time I can't idle. She says, when you go on to vacations, will you quit going into stores and getting ideas and bringing them back here? Because that's all I'm doing. I'm like, I could do this. I could do this in the coffee shop. I could like offer this menu item, whatever. I'm just always thinking and rolling. Like you need to go and read a book on the boat beach and not think about work. But I've got my vision. I do a vision board. I do a vision board and whatever. So it just is hard. I yesterday had a headache and I stayed at my friend's house in the country in front of the fireplace. And we're open on Sundays in the coffee shop, and we had an incredibly busy day. We were short staffed. I could have drove in. I decided to let the staff handle it. My daughter came to my rescue, thankfully, and I stayed on his couch for most of the day. But most of the day I was on my computer, I was on social media kind of dinking around, but I was creating gift card specials and whatever. Now, that still was work, but it was kind of like it was my creativity outlet. I was creating posts. And so I was doing some creativity stuff with work. It wasn't pressure work. So still at the end of the day, I felt really relaxed. I wasn't in front of people because let's face it, like I walk down the stairs from my apartment and I'm in front of, 20 to 50 people every day. And some days you're just like, I can't people today. And I'm like, I've been crying up here or I've been sad. For whatever reason. And I have to walk down the stairs and I have to like, just put
Magic
on
it
a
off.
show.
Mhm.
And so you do that for 3 or 4 hours, and I come back up here and kind of, decompress and go back down there and do it. And, not only for, even if I don't have guests, I have staff. I have 4 or 5 staff members down there, and I've learned like I've done it wrong before, like, right? I went down there in a bad mood, and it's like,
Oh,
I got chewed out by my own daughter, like, Mom, you can't come down like that. And I'm like, I know, but gosh, this is like so much. So yeah, it's not, I don't do it well. I need to work on that.
it's a hard one, I will admit. And reading a book is a great idea, but if I found when I am super stressed or I have a million things, I can't calm down enough to read. Like I can't
Mhm.
calm down enough to read and absorb it. And it's great that you can still do somewhat quote mindless things, sitting there on a sofa in front of a fire, calm down. Like that doesn't require you to be on. And I think that that's healthy. I mean, I think that if that's as calm as it gets and that works for you and that is what calms you down, I think that that's important to take that time because um trying to just turn everything off when you're like always going is very challenging. Like it's something that I think it happens like it takes a long time to get to that state.
Living above the coffee shop, I can hear the grinder, I can hear the tamping of the
Espresso.
yeah, of the espresso machine. And I can hear people talking. I can hear. So when it's really noisy and there's a lot of people down there, it is so hard. I have FOMO. I'm like, I'm missing out on whatever's going down. So even if I say I'm at my desk, I gotta do book work because my personality type is not to do the book work right and leave it for the last minute. I will sit at my desk here I'll sit at my desk and say, okay, I'm doing book work. And 2 minutes later, I'm downstairs and I'm like, have to run down for something. And then I'm down there for 3 or 4 hours. I just can't. I,
A good
I,
owner, though, to be quite honest. That's what makes a really good owner.
I just like it too much.
You just need to find time for whatever that looks like for you to decompress and calm. But it's been
Yeah.
so lovely to chat with you. I'm so excited for people
Yeah.
here. This is a long one. This is one of the longer. This this we may have to break up into.
Sorry
No, we've gone an hour
too.
and 40 minutes. That's wild. So
That's awesome.
that's great news.
This has been so great for me. This has been wonderful.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I know hopefully we will see each other. It sounds like I won't see you in Dallas, but hopefully we will connect at some point in person. But thank you so much for bringing your story and being so transparent about what's happened. And I'm so sorry about your husband. And I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I think a lot of people hear this and not understand how you just keep up and going. And I'm really grateful for you telling us your story.
Thank you. I'd say it's like a lot of friends and family. As you know, like you've had a little bit of your finger in the restaurant business. There's something broke every day. I don't, like an ice machine, a stove, even the POS, just something. And I have people. And so my people have been really good to me, my staff and the community. And so I've been able to keep it together, at least on the surface.
That's great. Natalie,
Yeah.
thank you so
So
much. I really appreciate it.
thank you so much. This was absolutely wonderful, Michelle. And I look forward to talking to you again sometime.
We will definitely.